greetings, this is Gilles Mancier. I wanted to come and say hello today. Then I'm going to pull out a few cards. I'm going to speak briefly about this painting, communicate on a few ideas, and then finish with a song. So let's see, what's the highest wisdom for us today is action. Is taking the right action to act. The time to action is coming. It is now. What we need to understand is trust, so we can trust that our action will bring the result as we move forwards. The more we have trust within the process, the easier things will flow. What we need to do is birth. It is to understand that we are reborn, we are new birth, there is something new, a new process that is just emerging. And the general message for us is the partnership, this connection is becoming the co-creative principle that we enjoy with the universe is becoming more. We have to make it more and more to ask spirit for confirmation. You ask your guides, your angels, and the more you are able to communicate with them, the more you will sense their presence around you. And there will be much to be discovered from that connection. For the card of the day is centering. It is the present. It's about letting go of the past and without having expectation about the future. It's about being in the now, in the total satisfaction of being, without having to fill the void with anything. So it is a process we are working with. In many sense, I've been talking about technology and how the new galactic technology will eventually come, but there is a need for demilitarization of the world. First, we have to make peace among ourselves before we can discover the next level of technology. I've been looking. Well, in many sense, there are some galactic starships that have weaponry, but it's not offensive weaponry. It's a defensive weaponry. If they are attacked, they have sonic weapons, or they have technology that can deactivate all the weaponries of whatever ships would come into their contact, so nobody gets hurt, and everybody can go on with their life. And so we have to lose this. We have to become benevolent, benign as being. Then we'll discover higher technologies. I've been looking into a great scientist. A little bit to see what they missed and what they got right in relationship to my own discoveries and wisdom. It's Niels Bohr. I think Niels Bohr was extremely intuitive in the sense for this model of the atom being like a solar system, for there are definitely a ring system within the atom of electrons. Neil Planck also was very we are frozen within this limitation until we discover the 0 point. So there's going to be much to be discovered in relationship to what life, the origin and the essence of life is. I wanted to talk about also spaceships and air travel vehicle. They say in galactic sense, if you have a spaceship that comes down and it makes a noise, it's not safe enough to come in. So in essence, to prove that you've mastered technology, it has to be completely silent. Which our airplanes are not yet silent. That means that they're still there can still be mechanical problems. Once we have enough mastery on a level of technology, like such as air vehicle or space vehicle, we'll make them completely silent. And there is a need for developing silent technology in the big cities. There is extreme noise pollution, so we'll have to look into that, how to make those to live a more peaceful life. We need to eliminate a lot of the pollution noise. I spoke briefly of the portal of Arcturus, a great portal of light, for there is also a great Elohim named Arcturus. It is their civilization is based on our peace and harmony. For me, it is a home away from home. I always feel very comfortable on Arcturus, and I've warned them, those videos, that I will introduce people, I will send them so they are aware, because I have a deep connection, but not everybody's got this connection activated. So by warning them that I was going to talk about them, they are following that process. If you wish to connect with them, they are all telepathic. You can always connect through telepathy. And they are all spiritual. For all science and evolution move from events spiritual to material. And so I will talk later about the relationship between Arcturus and Alpha Centauri, for this is something that was quite interesting, a little story. For Alpha Centauri is a wonderful place to visit, but it is much more ethereal than Arcturus, so it's more difficult to get access to it. In many sense, time, space, matter, energy, void and form, everything is always shifting and changing. The gods, what we call God, are eternal manipulators of energy, and everything is always in transformation. There is many paradox. For him, the pre-Socratic philosophers have discovered the paradox. Zénon d'Élée was one of the. He discovered that if you're going to shoot an arrow into a target, the arrow can never reach its target, because before it needs to fill half of the space, it will have to make half of the distance before it makes the other half. But this half of the distance cannot be reached unless it makes half of the distance before then, and then well, they didn't know Planck at the time, but so in many sense, so they understood the idea of paradox, and the paradox was between Parménide, who would be this philosopher who believed that everything, the movement was impossible, everything was always one and the same and could never move, and then there was Heraclite, who thought that everything was in perpetual motion, and they were both true in many sense. So this is the nature of paradox. It's always this and that. We got to understand that the God, the spirit source, knows all things about everything. It has all the keys of all the mechanics, the celestial mechanism, and God is only limited by volition. It means that everything that's been created in the universe is because God has made it that way, and when God created in His eternal wisdom, everything is always created in eternal perfection. No matter how imperfect life may seem on the earth, we have to reconnect to that idea. As we reconnect to that idea, we can begin to sense the revelation of that perfection within our consciousness. I wanted to comment briefly on this painting. It's called the Great Super Universe of Or von Thon. It is a cosmology painting, so it represents, the center is the Milky Way galaxy, and then there is a few peripheral galaxies that are part of that great super universe, and but Andromeda is not part of it. It is another system of another super universe, and so the universe is highly organized, not like we think, but within there are 100,000 local prime unit of creation with millions of star systems. Our own local universe is called Nebadon. It is somewhere on the fringe of the Milky Way, and it's a recently created universe. But the further out we come from the great galactic center, the universe are more and more dense and difficult, and it is the same from the great central sun of our great central sun of our local universe is Alcyon in the Pleiades. And so our universe is on the fringe of the Milky Way, and our planet is on the fringe of our universe. So, and the more we are on the fringe, the more dense and difficult things are. But there are great benefit to being here, because being on the fringe of the galaxy, that the Earth is an intergalactic portal where we can just jump into other dimensions and galaxies. And so, in essence, this represents the central world, and in the center of the galaxy. Those are not physical worlds; they're like architectural worlds, celestial world. There is this magnificent world called Uversa, and there are thousands, hundreds of planets that surround it, and there are 10 major sectors. Our own major sector is the 5th major sector of the Milky Way, and within this major sector there is 100 minor sector, and within the sub-minor sector of that universe there is 100 universe, and our universe is part of that great family of cosmic beings that are the stars, and all those, everything is alive, we'll come to realize. But in essence, what we do not want to forget is that we are the center of the creation that God has created for us, and so it is for us to determine our own self-liberation process and choose light, choose freedom, choose love, and do our best in the most sincere way to make that manifest each and every day. I'm going to finish with a little song. It's a song that says that all is one and one is all in many sense. But then they are very subtle. They are the personal, and then there's the universal. And this song kind of goes into a mix between the two, because it's called One. It's like this. Is it getting better, or do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now? You got someone to blame. You say one love, one life, when it's one in the night. One love, we get to share it, or it leaves you, baby, if you don't care for it. Did I disappoint you? or leave a bad taste in your mouth. You act like you never had love, and you want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight to drag the past out into the light. We are one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other one. Have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come to play Jesus to the lepers in your head? Did I ask too much? More than a lot? You gave me nothing, now it's all I've got. We are one, but we're not the same. We'll hurt each other, then we do it again. You say, love is a temple, love a higher low. Love is a temple, love the higher low. You ask me to enter, but then you make me crow. I can't be holding on to what you get when all you get is hurt. One love, one blood, one life. You got to do what you should. One life with each other, sisters, brothers. One life, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other one. Well, thank you very much. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you would like to comment, feel free. I'll be happy to communicate with you. And I thank you for everything. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.